Hi, and welcome to today's Facebook 101 webinar. My name is Sarah Ortega, Marketing Manager, and I have with me today Olivia Moore, Social Media Specialist. We're going to start off today with a little bit of housekeeping. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the chat and the Q&A. Make sure you submit your questions as we go along, and we'll answer those at the end. And then you'll also see the Handouts tab where we've added several PDFs and links for you to look at throughout the day. So check those out before the end of the webinar. So we'll get started today with a poll. Let us know, how many hours a day do you spend on social media? None, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 or more hours. Olivia, how many hours do you think you spend on average per day?
Probably between 1 and 2, depending the day, more likely leaning towards that 1, just because with a 3-year-old, you really don't have too much time to be doing that type of stuff, but I'd say probably
Absolutely.
1.
Absolutely. And that seems to be the consensus so far as I'm seeing the answers rolling in. I think 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours is probably where I'm at as well.
Yeah.
Uh, with kids and sports, you just don't have time.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm going to give it just a few more seconds on that poll, so make sure that you answer if you can. And thanks for joining us today. I see we have 32 people on the call so far, so that's great. All right, so I'm going to close that poll out. And it looks like on average, people are spending 1 hour per day on social media, which is pretty average compared to, like, if you look at the rest of the data. So let's just jump right in. So, Facebook statistics. Facebook is the most popular social network in the world with over 2 billion daily users. Users are spending almost 20 hours a month on Facebook, which again, as you look at our poll, pretty accurate. 74% of adults use Facebook. Now that means that 74% of your clients are on Facebook. So if you're not, you're missing out on all that attention. And your competitors probably aren't. 54% of people use Facebook to research companies. So if a person hears about you, they're going to go to Facebook to look you up. And if you're not there, then you're going to miss out on that opportunity. And 43% of users say they use Facebook to get their news, which is just another great opportunity for you to expand your reach by being their source for all kinds of news articles that you can share. It's just one of the great benefits of Facebook and social media.
All right, so I will go ahead and get into the benefits of Facebook marketing. So many of you may be wondering, what do I get out of being present on Facebook? So today we'll actually go over the top 5 benefits that come with keeping your presence on social media, Facebook specifically. The first benefit here is going to be widening your reach to a large audience. As Sarah just went over, there are a lot of people on Facebook, and a lot of it is going to be untapped territory for you that you'll really want to get into and leverage. So many of you may actually resort to putting your business cards at local businesses and attending community events. Yeah, that will actually be a great way to market yourself, although it's very important that you don't restrict yourself to just those methods. There are definitely some misconceptions about the world of social media. Many people have lived their whole lives without it and plan to continue to do so. There's a big problem with that, and that's going to be that social media is such a big part of the world now, and it's really hard to avoid it. And as long as you're using it in the right way, it's going to be an amazing way to network. And most importantly, when it comes to your business, get your brand out there. So it's definitely somewhere to be. The second benefit here is going to be boosting brand awareness. Social media is an easy and extremely affordable way to market your business and brand and really get yourself out there. Now, if you stick with specific colors, fonts, language style, and other branding elements, it'll ultimately help people quickly recognize your brand not only when scrolling on social media, but when they see it in different forms of media and even out in the real world too.
And if you've attended any of Christy Wilbert's webinars in the past, she talks a lot about branding and making sure that you're getting your business out there. That kind of recognition, it helps both in social aspects, but also in real world aspects as well. You want to make sure people remember who you are. You want to be top of mind.
That's true. And then It's also really important to remember that it can take several touch points before a person actually converts, or in other words, becomes your customer. That being said, social media is going to be a really great way to produce that first touch point that you need. And then we get into the third benefit here, which is going to be one of the most popular ones here, and it's going to be generating leads. I know this benefit is likely going to be the one that pushes many people to actually market themselves on social media because everyone wants their business to thrive, right? Purchasing leads from vendors can definitely be helpful, but is it going to be the most cost effective? I can argue that it's really not going to be your best option, especially considering the opportunity that lies within social. Then posting about your business and what you can offer is a great way to get people aware and interested in your business too. You're truly wasting so much potential if you're not allowing people to actually reach you through social media. And then people will want to spend less time making calls and instead be able to quickly and easily fill out a contact form that's provided online. It just saves them more time. You can even run paid ads on Facebook to bring about lead generation. And with those paid campaigns, you can choose your audience based off of things like age, interest, where they live, and so many more. The capabilities are truly incredible. You can even retarget users who visited your website but who haven't converted yet. A piece of tracking called a Facebook pixel actually gets on it's installed onto your website to tap into those targeting capabilities. You also have the capability to have your ads show where you want them to within Facebook. So whether that be on people's news feed or while they're scrolling through Facebook stories, you can choose where you want them to show up. I also wanted to note that you can spend as much or as little on those campaigns and run them from whatever time frame you want to. So if you know that you just want to do a week-long campaign, you can do that. Or if you want to have it go on for months, that's also a great opportunity too.
And if running ads seems like too daunting of an experience if you're not familiar with creating ads, make sure that you're boosting your posts. It's a super simple way to take content that you already have that's performing well and help it to perform even better.
All right, so the fourth benefit here is going to be relationship building. Your social media page is essentially your portfolio into who you are and what your business is, and it could very well be that first impression on people. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Think about when you're researching going to a new restaurant or looking into home improvement companies or maybe even getting a new tattoo. You're likely going to research who these people are. You'll want to see reviews and then get a better understanding of who you're about to be working with. It's 100% something that people would do when they think about using your services too. And let's be honest, many of us have favorite celebrities that we follow on social media. By seeing the content that they post, don't you begin to feel like you actually know who those people are? That's really how it'll be when they work with you too. When people look through your page, they'll begin to feel like they know more about you, which will lead to trust and then great relationship building as well. Then our last benefit here is going to be driving traffic to your website. Many of you have put a lot of time and work into building your website or have even invested in companies to help build out a great site. So chances are you want to have people be able to easily get to your website. And there's really endless opportunities to promote your website on social media. You can do stuff like making posts that drive people to fill out that great contact form that you have put on there. Or maybe you just want to get them to your site to learn more about what services you have to offer. Or I know a lot of you have built out really incredible About Us sections that you want to get people to just to give them a better feel and really lead back to that relationship building aspect so they know who you are. So again, there's really endless capabilities here to get that traffic to that website that you spent so much time working on. All right, so then we are going to go ahead and get into setting objectives here. So first, I want to start off with noting that it's best to start by conducting a social media audit just to better understand where your social media presence really is. you're going to want to take a look at things like how many followers you have and definitely take note of that number because in the future it'll be really great to look back on just to see how you progress through time. Also, look at things like how many times you post a week or a month, how many likes, comments, or shares your content gets. Then, also, something that I like to look into is what type of content do you post? For example, do you have a strong mix of different types of posts on your page? And then, in the end, doing this audit will really help you be able to pivot your approach to achieve your goals, which actually leads into my next point here. So you'll need to pinpoint what's important to you. Do you want to drive those leads, or are you looking to increase brand awareness and get your business and face out there for people to see and learn more about? Just really ask yourself, what other things are you looking to achieve? That way you can lay out a groundwork to figure out where you want to move with social. A great strategy to getting solid goals in place that you can actually reach is to follow the SMART goals guideline. These are going to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and then time bound goals. Just to give an example of a SMART goal, say you're determined to get 10 people to fill out a contact form each month. This is going to be a specific goal that you're looking to achieve. It's definitely going to be measurable because you're giving yourself a set amount of time to achieve the goal. And then it's attainable because you're setting a realistic number for that time frame. It's also going to be relevant because it relates back to that big overarching goal of gaining more leads. And then lastly, it's going to be time bound because you're setting that 1 month time frame to follow.
If you're looking for any resources on SMART goals, make sure you check out in the handouts area. We have 2 different SMART goals worksheets. You can download those and they'll help you make your own SMART goals at home.
You got it. And then I also wanted to note, I cannot stress this enough. You can't go into this thinking that things are going to take off immediately and you're going to get a huge following and lots of leads coming through right away. I wish that were the case, but building a good page takes much time and patience. You may think that you know what's going to work, but that may not be the case. You could go through lots of trial and error and then continuously optimize your page just to figure out what's going to work best for you and your business because we're all different and not one set thing is going to be the best thing for all of us.
All right, we're going to launch another quick poll. So let us know, do you currently have a Facebook business page? Yes, no, or the answer that I'm dreading on getting is what's a business page? And hopefully everybody here knows the difference between a business page and a personal page. Oh, great. Okay, I'm seeing that most of the answers so far are yes, that you already have a Facebook business page. That's wonderful. Know that if you don't have one of the resources in the handouts area today is a step-by-step guide on how to set up your own business page. It's very simple, very straightforward. So we highly recommend doing it. We have one what's a business page. Okay, well, we're going to jump into that just a little bit. I'm going to give a few more minutes to answer a few more seconds to answer the poll. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out. We were evenly split on yes, no, and then we had 2 what's a business page. So again, in the resources area and the handouts, make sure you check out the how to set up a business page. It's directly from Meta, so it'll be the most up to date for you. Half the time when you set up demos like this today, by the time it's watched on the recording, it's already out of date because they're updating the algorithm and all of their interface so regularly. So the one thing I cannot stress enough is setting up a business page. It's not the same as a personal page. The way that you can tell the difference is if somebody's adding your business as a friend, that is a personal page. If they are liking and following you, that is a business page. That's what you want. Business pages are public. They enable you to get client reviews. They allow you to post ads, and they will be indexed by Google, which means you're going to show up in search results. That doesn't happen with a personal page, and those are things that you definitely need to be able to have happen. And earlier I had said whenever Olivia talked about posting ads, you can't boost your content if you have a personal page. It has to be through a business page. But one of the things we do recommend is that when you share a business post, go ahead and share that on your personal page. It's going to help expand your reach and get you more engagement. When your friends and family see the content that you're putting out there, they're going to want to engage with it, and that's wonderful. It helps boost your engagement on your regular page and your organic reach as well. And don't forget to include your business address. It lends legitimacy and make sure people can find you.
All right, so I'm going to take things back over here with creating a content calendar. So first thing first is we like to try sticking to the 80-20 rule. This means that 80% of your content is going to be educational and then the other 20% is promotional. Now keep in mind that it's also best to add in some engagement posts, whether that be different quizzes or stuff like this or that's posts. For example, do you like cats or dogs better? Or you can even ask people to share their experiences on certain topics to bring about conversation. Now, I'd be careful with this one and just make sure it's nothing too controversial just because you don't want big debates going on your page or posts. I have here that a recent study by Hootsuite shows that the average time to be posting on Facebook specifically is going to be 1 to 2 times a day. And then at the very least, you should be posting 5 times a week just to keep an active page. Because going back to that relationship building aspect, maintaining an active page can definitely help with that relationship building. Me personally, when I'm getting ready to create my calendar, I do it a month ahead of time because this ensures that I have everything mapped out for the right day and then the right time as well. It also gives me the opportunity to look into things like holidays, events, and then any other important details for the month ahead. And then doing this really just helps give me peace of mind that everything will be set for the coming month because we definitely all know how fast the months go by. It's already almost June, which is insane. And then my last point here is going to be using scheduling tools to your advantage. Let's be honest, not many of us really have the time to get on social media every single day to post, or quite frankly, remember to get on and post. Especially if it comes to promoting an event or holiday, you want to make sure you get that post out there. And then I did want to mention that later on, I'll give a quick overview on navigating Facebook's specific scheduling tool. So that'll be here shortly. And if you're looking for a tool outside of Facebook, Buffer is going to be a really amazing one that gives you great scheduling capabilities. And then it actually supplies an analytics section as well that can help gauge post performance.
And Buffer is one of those links that we have in the handouts. So if you're interested in checking that out, make sure you go to that area.
And then also, I found out last week that Buffer is actually allowing you to schedule stories now too. So if that's something you're interested in to really help keep your audience engaged, that is a capability on that platform as well. So it is there for you to use. My last point here is going to be making sure you're incorporating a mix of media into your calendar. When scrolling through your page, you don't want to see the same type of content repetitively. So you want to make sure you're getting a good mix of different forms of media. For example, a mix of videos. These can be fun videos or educational videos. You want to be sharing third-party articles. This can be news articles or anything really reputable sources share that you'd also like to share to your followers. You can even go as far as creating custom images that you can design yourself, which I did want to note. Canva is a really great tool for designing, especially for those who aren't as tech savvy and really dipping their toes into the world of graphic design. And then also, it's really important to include a mix of high quality images as well, whether that be pictures you took or your staff takes, or even good stock photos too. And then also, posting stories can be a great way to keep your followers engaged, as I mentioned.
Speaking of having your staff take photos, some of the best posts that we have had are about our company itself and about our people. So people love to see that. People love to get to know you. Make sure you're including that kind of content.
For sure. All right. So post engagement and analytics. We definitely wanted to touch on just some information here regarding post engagement. So first of all, the average engagement rate is less than 1%. Many people are going to see anywhere between like 0.30 to 0.50%, or and that will cause them to get discouraged. But I can definitely assure you that this is completely normal, and we definitely don't want it to discourage you. So don't let that happen.
And, think about all the times that you've been on social media. You don't like or share everything that you see. Just because you appreciate the content and you're enjoying what you're reading doesn't mean that you're going to engage with it. So just because your engagement rate is low doesn't mean people aren't enjoying what it is that you're doing and they're not getting impressions, which means seeing the efforts that you're putting out.
Exactly. So more data actually has shown that images or image posts are known to have the highest engagement, whereas link posts have the lowest. So definitely something to keep in mind. It's important to get a mix of both, as I mentioned, but just some information for you there. Lastly here, Facebook actually provides an insights section completely free of charge. It's just part of the Meta Business Suite, and you can actually check the post performance here. As I mentioned before, Buffer also gives those great analytics, but for the free version, you can stick with Facebook Insights. And then I actually wanted to do a quick demonstration just showing you guys how to get to the Meta Business Suite area for insights and then the planner section. So bear with me here and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Yep, we can see it.
All right, sounds good. I'll go ahead and start with the Insights tab here. So when you're within the Meta Business Suite, you're going to have this left bar navigation. Insights will be right here, so you'll want to go ahead and navigate there. Once you do that, it'll pull this page up here, which you'll get the first overview of how things were going. You can see things like your reach, your content interactions, followers, link clicks. They even provide a reach breakdown here that you can see the organic content, which means the uh, regular posts that you're posting every day versus if you're running any ads, you can also see how many people were reached with those ads as well. Just going through a couple other of these tabs to give you an idea. The results is another more broken down chart area for things like reach, Facebook visits, followers, etc.
And these can be great places to benchmark the different activities that you're going through. So, let's say you've decided that your plan of action is you want to increase your followers or you'd like to post every day. Here's where you can see if that's actually increasing your numbers.
And the audience section here, which I find very cool, you can get a little bit more information about how many new followers you got. The demographics tab is awesome. You can see things like age and gender, where your followers are at in the world, whether that be cities or even countries. And then also your potential audience too, which just shows you what you could potentially be reaching. Benchmarking is going to be a cool area because this shows you your business in comparison to others. There's even the Business Watch tab, which will show you other businesses within your industry as well and like where they lay along with you. So that's a really great one there. And then the overview tab will just show you the overview of everything for the month, as well as the content tab just shows you your content for the month. So definitely some good capabilities here and it'll really help you gauge how you've done for the month. That way you can pivot moving forward.
And the content tab that you're showing here is a really nice way to see what your top performing content actually is. And that way you can share more of that and get better results.
All right, so I will go ahead and move over to the planner tab. So as I mentioned, this is going to be the area where you can actually plan out your content so you don't have to be remembering to get on every day to post. So this is what it's going to look like laid out. You'll have the capability of seeing it by week or by month, so you can zoom out and see the full month's view there. There's going to be two areas here to create a post. So if you press these, it'll pull up the area where you can enter the text, upload the photos or videos you want, and then actually schedule out the date and time that you want your post to go out. They even allow a little area here for you to create ads too, so it's a bit of a shortcut to the ads manager as well. Just a couple other things here. Oh, I did want to note too that you can actually choose what type of content you want to create as well. So the Moments tab is just going to be a little overview of what's like coming for the month, just in case you need some inspiration and you want to post World Bicycle Day. It's there for you and you can get that post scheduled. And then drafts section, pretty self-explanatory. This is just where you can save the drafts that you don't want to get scheduled out yet. Just it gives you like a little area so you don't have to get those set into the calendar. But overall, that is going to be the view of the planner and the insights section. So I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. Sarah, I think you're muted.
Thank you for that.
Yep, you got
I
it.
knew it would happen at least once. So we're just going to do a quick recap. If you haven't had a chance to put your questions in the Q&A, please go ahead and do so now. So some Facebook do's and don'ts. Do make sure you're posting regularly. That's how you're going to establish a little bit of a reputation on your page and make sure people know that you're active. Do post on different days and times and try different post lengths. Some people like short posts, some people like long posts. If you have a lot of really good information, that's great. Put that out there. If you have news articles, heavy releases that have come out, make sure you're posting that stuff. People do want to read long news articles on Facebook. Common misconception is that they won't read long articles. They will. Make sure that you're responding to comments on your posts. Any engagement you get is good engagement. Make sure you're turning negative comments and reviews into positives by responding respectfully. Don't leave bad press out there just to sit. And if you are a Medicare agent, make sure you're checking out our social media compliance guide in the handouts area. It has a lot of really good compliant information. Some don'ts. Do not create a personal page instead of a business page. Now, you will have to create a personal page in order to create a business page, but don't get the two confused. Don't get discouraged by low engagement rates. Again, as we said, a lot of people, they'll lurk and read your content, but they won't necessarily interact with your content. That doesn't mean they're not enjoying it. Don't just post photos, post a variety of different content. Don't use pixelated low quality photos. People want to associate your brand with high quality. Don't post misinformation. Make sure you're fact checking your sources. And don't post personal page or personal content on your business page. Keep the drama off of your business page. All right, so let's get to the questions. The first one that we have come in is, will this presentation be recorded? And the answer is yes, it is in the process of recording right now, and the recording will go out as soon as this webinar is over. We have another question that came in from David. When somebody likes your post, will they automatically see your future content in their feeds?
I can go ahead and answer that. So the Facebook algorithm is definitely really great. So when somebody does like your post, that can or if Facebook understands that they're more interested, and it'll have the algorithm show your content more. So essentially, yes.
Perfect. We had another question come in from Laurel. She said, I post every day on the business accounts. Would you say that is too much? I had set days for certain post types, true or false, polls, etc.
Nope, that is perfect. I did mention before that for Facebook specifically, you're going to be wanting to do 1 to 2 times a day. So doing it every day, that's definitely great and it keeps your page active. So keep up the good work.
And something to remember is posting 1 to 2 times a day, it feels like a lot, it seems like a lot, but think of social media as bingeable content, right? It's just like having a Netflix account. You can look at as much of that content as you want or as little of that content as you want, but the more you have there, the longer someone's going to stay on your page, the longer they're going to connect with you as a brand. All right, we have another question that came in. Can we switch over ownership of a business page from the previous business owner, or do we have to make a whole new page?
So you actually can do that. It can get a bit tricky, but Meta or Facebook actually provides different articles on how to do that and make sure that it gets switched over. There's just some steps that you have to follow, but it definitely is possible because you don't want to have to go through building out that whole business page again. So if that's something that you are interested to, there's definitely articles out there that you can get access to.
Okay, here we have another one. Am I allowed to contact clients on social media?
I can answer that one too. So, Medicare specifically, definitely that is a don't just because you want to be compliant. You're not allowed to just be reaching out to people like that. Other types of insurance you definitely could, but Medicare specific, that's a no-no.
All right, another great one here. Where is a good place to find articles I can share? So we actually put out several different newsletters, weekly and bi-weekly, that you can take articles from. We post them specifically for this purpose. We also get some of our resources come directly from other newsletters that we receive, whether they be from Penny or CMS. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for those, for good articles to share. Any kind of breaking news, you'll want to make sure you're sharing that for your clients as well. Um, and any kind of reputable news source would be the place you'd go to for that. I have another one here from David. Are there any resources you recommend for creating Facebook ads and who to target?
So, for who to target, it's definitely going to be specific on what your business is about and what you're selling. So it's really, for example, say you're a Medicare agent and you want to target people in that age group, then you're going to want to make sure that you are targeting 65 plus or soon turning 65. So stuff like that. Again, Facebook provides really great resources and articles on how to target people and how to leverage and actually go about creating Facebook ads within the platform.
And the audience builder within Facebook is actually really simple to use. They've streamlined it so that anybody can use it. Don't be afraid of jumping in there and just playing around with it. It's very hard to mess up. All right, let's see. We have any more? If you have any other questions, make sure you're posting them in the chat because we are almost done. We're going to give you guys back about half an hour of your day. Uh, where do I get high quality images?
So we have a couple different things that we like doing. I mentioned Canva before. That is going to be a really great option for not only the designing of stuff, but they provide lots of really good stock photos as well. There's also tons of other stock photo sites. For example, Getty Images is definitely a really great one too.
Just make sure that you are not just going to Google and typing in and getting your images from there. Those are not free images. Those are often copyrighted images, and we don't want to see anybody get sued over image copyright violations. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions come through, but if you do have any questions, make sure you reach out to us. We'll be available to you. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys.